Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming back to my show. I am Preacher Layla, and I'm here to talk to you guys about something that has been going on with me for a little while, and I'm pretty sure most of y'all can relate. If you have family that you've had disagreements with when someone has passed in your family. This is what I'm going to talk about today, talking about how blood is not always thicker than water. And why is that? We still don't know, but I have some ideas and some thoughts on the subject myself. But let's go ahead and start talking, you guys. Well, let me go ahead and start off by talking about something that's happened to me and my family. Not going to name names or anything like that. Definitely not going to do that. But within the last few years, I have went through some things with my family that I rather not have went through. I've lost my mom and papa on one side of my family, and they definitely were the glue to my family. Now, I'm sure if you're listening, you are thinking in your head of that one person that you know when they're gone or have passed. They're the ones that keep your family going. They're the ones that keep your family together, and no one's true colors really come out. Well, that is true in this case. So, after my mama and papa passed, there was some big issues. Like I said, I'm not going to go into big details and call anyone out, just out of respect for everyone in the family. But I will say that death, as sad as it already is, the living, the family, tend to make it worse on each other, in my experience. We become greedy. We become, what's the word I want to say? Entitled. We think because our family or loved one or mother or father have passed that we have earned what they built. And when you have more than one child, each one feels entitled. I'm not saying that this is the case, but just observing and seeing things. I've seen this in other families as well, but there's always that one issue where you don't talk to each other because something happens, and you're going to blame everyone but yourself. And I will say there's going to be wrong in everyone's part. I don't think anyone is right when it comes to the greed and the selfishness after death. You already have enough going on. Why put each other through more grief and heartache and headache? It's just, I don't think it's right. Material things are not important. Yes, we want the things to keep memories, but we shouldn't keep a hold of some things that are just material. We're not even going to be able to take when we're gone as well. So why should we break a family and show such nasty colors to one another when it's the stuff that you're fighting for is not relevant? Now, that is just my opinion. I'm sure others will have different opinions, and I'm okay with that. But just thinking here, family is not always going to be there for you. And that's the sad thing and the sad truth. Like I stated, I have people that make me feel that blood is not thicker than water. And that whole saying is, yes, blood is actually thicker than water, but when it comes to family, when you have these nasty colors and these pasts that come through, it really dilutes the blood. If that makes sense. But, you guys, I'm sitting here rambling, and I just want to get to my point here and continue on with this episode. So, talking about family and going through the death and it being upsetting already and showing true colors, it really does a damper on a family. And time goes by, and in the past you said or done things that you're going to regret because those are things you can't come back from. And then you have each part of the family that has their own side and points fingers at the other sides of the family, when we should all talk together and come to an agreement that we were all wrong, that we should forgive each other because we're family and get past our differences and actually talk and communicate and get through it. Now, there's going to be some people that are going to be petty, upset, and not going to care. And that's going to be sad in itself. So when you have that, it's hard to rebuild the family you had. When the glue is gone, it's hard to put it back together because you're trying to find other substances to keep it together. Or you just let it go altogether and don't ever fix it. And that is happening more and more in most small families. When the glue is gone, they just let it rot and decay. And it's sad. And my other point is going to be that because blood is not always thicker than water, I have people in my life that aren't blood, that treat me better. Family that would take me in and treat me better than my own family. And that is so sad in a way. So I want to make this point that we should all be loving and caring. I'm not saying put up with someone's crap just because you don't want confrontation. That's not what I'm saying. Definitely be yourself. Help someone if they need help. Don't let them use you, of course. But family should do that for you as well. Now, that's not always going to be the case. Now, I did want to talk about more things than just family and this whole thing. But it has been on my mind and it has been on my heart just because of the holidays and hearing family members upset and feeling targeted. And that upsets me as well. No one should feel targeted in a family when everyone has a fault in this situation. Some more than others, but definitely everyone has a fault. And it's depressing to see someone you love and care about hurt. Now, I just wanted to talk about that for a few moments and see what you guys thought about the subject. Do you have someone in your family that has just driven it to the point of no return, has taken the glue and just splattered it everywhere, and you have no real foundation? Who is that person in your life? Let's talk about that. You don't have to name names. Tell me stories, send me things, and maybe I will read them on my next show. If you have a story or something that you would like to share where you've gained experience and would like someone else to gain the same experience, or just would like to give some awareness to what you've experienced, definitely send it in. I will read it. You can be anonymous, but I will read it and let the audience hear and learn from your experience as well. But moving on, like I said, just want to talk about the family, how that was on my mind lately. Now, I want to get to the point where I am sorry that I haven't posted like I was going to. I was going to post on Thanksgiving, something about Thanksgiving, and then of course, it was just too busy. Couldn't do it. And then the weekend came, still busy, couldn't do it. And today I was like, okay, I've had enough of hearing about this, the holidays, family, everything. I just got to talk. So, thank you for listening to my ramble. If I made sense, great. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But moving on, there was another topic I actually wanted to talk about that I... not necessarily a topic, but something that I observed and thought was kind of crappy. Not necessarily crappy, just I can't really explain it. But I was looking at the top news stories for 2018. And what really shocked me was that our world is so driven by media that the top news was the royal wedding. Great, it's a wedding. Cool beans. And then, like, halfway down the list, you have, like, the natural disasters from in Florida and the fires in California, stuff like that, toward the bottom. And you have all this shit at the top that, yeah, it's news, but it shouldn't be top news. We should be aware of these disasters and the things that go through, like the communication between North Korea and the United States for the nuclear war. That should have been toward the top. It should not have been toward the bottom. We should put more things in the news that are important than talking about, ooh, Kim had another baby, or ooh, royal wedding. Ooh, look at the new Avengers movie. Yes, those things are great, but it shouldn't be in the top of our news for 2018. It just shows what we really care about, and that we are so self-centered as Americans. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but we are. We're entitled. We feel like we deserve something we did not work for, and it's sad, because we should be more aware of the things that could destroy us than things that we're just enjoying for the moment that we're not even going to remember next year. It's just, those things bother me. So I did want to talk about that as well, and I'm sorry if I rambled. But leave me a comment, send me a message, tell me what you think of 2018. So far, it's been one of the most political years. The last few years since Donald Trump started running for president has been the most political. Mostly because we all know Donald Trump, and he just wants to continuously post things on Twitter, which I absolutely hate. But freedom of speech, I guess. But you guys, we need to be more aware and talk about things that are more important than just regular social media. Because we need to be woke. We need to be aware of what's going on in this country and around the world if we're going to survive. And that is just a cold hard truth. I did not mean to get too political on this as well, but I did want to let you know, you guys, that we have the right. We were given the right to say what we want to say and build and go against the government if we think it is incorrect or we don't agree. We have the ability to revolt. And those are things that people don't realize. That to do that, you have to be unionized. You have to be educated. You have to agree. And we are so far and in between agreeing on anything that we're never going to grow. We're just going to keep falling back in history. Because we're so divided. We're so filled with hate. We're so filled with so many different choices that don't really matter, that we've lost sight of what we should be caring about. I don't hate on anyone. I feel like your views are your views, but at the same time, you guys, you have to understand that if you haven't seen it or understand it, but the social media and the news and all that has divided us, because all they want to talk about is race. All they want to talk about is what's happening here, what's happening there. It shouldn't matter about race when it comes to certain things. Like, why do they have to make the comment that they are white, they are black? They don't say that when it's a different race. It's always white or black. It's always... It doesn't make sense. I don't like it. We should be united. We shouldn't be divided because of color, race, or anything. We should be all equally educated and put together. And it's sad that we live in a country that wants to take away our education and wants us to be dumb. And it's true. And I'm sorry if you don't agree. That's fine. Everyone has their opinion. I'm just talking about how I feel and what I've observed. So there's no hard facts on this. There's no hard evidence or whatever, but these are things that I feel and see. So educate me, give me more information, absolutely, but don't be negative in anyone's opinion, is all I ask. I am open and willing to listen to anyone that has an opinion on this matter. But again, didn't mean to get political. I just wanted to give a little bit of something that was been irking me after I read that article. I kind of got a little way off. But I am also looking here, changing subjects again. I'm also going to be looking for some co-hosts, because I do want this to be more of a talk show and not just me rambling. So the first few shows are going to be a little but I definitely want to get some good hard topics, some questions and things going. I've had some messages on my page. If you haven't already, go to Preacher Layla on Facebook, like me, send me messages, give me topics, comment on the posts, everything. And we will have more conversations and answer questions as well. I'm thinking about doing a series on depression soon, because of the holidays. I want to give some helpful advice. I want to do some research and talk to you guys about some things to help you through this holiday season, especially with Christmas coming around and then the New Year. I'm hopefully going to talk about how to make it through the Christmas holidays when you feel alone. Those are some things I know I personally deal with. And then, with it being the beginning of the year, I want to make a whole episode about how to keep your New Year's resolution. Just things like that to help keep things positive and help you be a better you. These are some things I want to do on my channel, and I will be getting some co-hosts, maybe some friends, to talk on the subject and have a little bit more view on the subjects. Now, you guys, if this is the second time you've ever listened to me or the first time you've listened, I'm sorry for the ramble. I'm sorry about maybe not making so much sense, but I just had a lot of things on my mind and wanted to get through those for y'all. Definitely want to have something more construct and more listenable for you guys, and maybe a little helpful. Definitely on the next show, I'm going to have a co-host. If you are in my area, I am currently in Athens, Georgia, and you want to be part of the show and you have a topic you would love to talk about, send me a message, hit me up, we will set something up and do a podcast. And yeah, well, thank you for listening to my ramble. Again, I'm so sorry. This is Preacher Layla, and thank you guys for listening. If you've listened this long, again, go to my Facebook page, like me. You can even find me on Instagram. I am Smile1712, and that is SMILES 17112. If you had any confusion on that, definitely hit me up there, hit me up on Facebook, and hopefully we will have a more construct episode and talk about things that are going to help you guys out. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!